our guys at first, but Johnny's going to join us through, some point in the future. So until then, it's officially Rex Manning Day. So you guys got to give the biggest welcome you can to Maxwell Caulfield. Come around this way. We should have. Here we go. I'm going to hold this. You scoot through. Yeah. True rock star fashion. You're a rock star, yeah. Hey, it's the last panel, so you can do whatever you want. Yeah. That's how we'll finish it off. Just.
Or do I just lounge?
Yeah, just lounge. Hey, this is our living room. Make yourself comfy.
Mr. Whitworth, I've been sat next to him all weekend. Anytime I look over there, he's MIA. I'm like, well, and at the other end of the line is Casper Van Dien, who never leaves his station. So they're a contrast in the extremes. And then you got me in the middle doing my best Chevy Chase. How are you, kids? Good to see you. You're fans of the film, obviously, and I'm just glad, frankly, that you all have, over the years, just either kept flying the flag for the film or have discovered it and embraced it. And then we have this annual lunacy known as Rex Manning Day. And I believe you me, being Rex Manning, because most actors get cast pretty much on the nose. I initially thought, oh, it's a big celebration of me. Of course, it's all about me. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. It's actually people celebrate that motion picture that I happen to be a part of. I had the same experience actually with Grease 2 for a long time there. I used to think that the female following for The Cool Rider was because everyone was in love with Michael Carrington. But then I realized that actually they were as much in love, the girls I'm talking about now, with Stephanie Zinoni, the beautiful Michelle Pfeiffer, and what she stands for. And so this business is interesting. It's a learning curve like life, of course. And it's a fascinating game. When it's good, it's very good. But it straightens you out too. And if you've got, because you have to have a pretty healthy ego to enter the business. You have at least a sense of yourself. I mean, a lot of us actually are trying to find ourselves. And if we're lucky, the role finds us, and it actually begins to start to shape the arc of not only your career, but even your life. And then, as I say, hopefully you become, well, we all write the book of our lives. And so it's important to remember that. We do have a lot more control over our destiny than we think. Can't leave it all to fate. Otherwise you end up making entrances like I just did. But there's a lovely spirit here. I've enjoyed meeting everyone this weekend. And I'm sorry I haven't got to explore the delights of little downtown Altoona, but it's been nose to the grindstone here at the convention center. But Casey and his wife have done a great job running this event. And I know a lot of people are feeling oppressed by the times we're living through, just the constant friction and, tension that is sort of wrapping around the whole world at the moment. But we'll come through it. We always do somehow. We keep doing our best to shoot ourselves in the foot, and somehow we right the ship, and we will again. I hope everyone gets very excited about the USA soccer national soccer team, because it looks like they've really come to compete. And the one time, I'm from England, of course, and or maybe you didn't know that, but I am from London and England, and the one time England, basically the home of soccer the world over, we actually won the World Cup, was the year we hosted it, 1966. I actually remember that because we beat the Germans, which was pretty symbolic, 4-2 in the final. And I was watching, I knew my phone would go off. There it goes. It's my friend, Mr. Risk. But screw off, spam. And I was watching TV, in a little black and white TV with my brother, my kid brother, and give you a sense of my age at the time, I was working my front tooth loose. And it came out just at the moment that the England centre forward scored his hat trick, the third goal, the one that put us over the top and essentially won us the World Cup final. So I hope it does bring the country together and the U.S. make it out of the group stage. They had a fantastic, emphatic win against Paraguay, as you all know, in the middle of the week. And then it's to the knockout rounds. And I think it will have a unifying effect for the country to be proud of the flag, be proud of the makeup of the team, regardless of skin color and ethnicity, or origin, whatever, because obviously we know what this country is all about. I'm a lucky beneficiary of the welcome mat that's usually out here in the U.S. for people who want to live the American dream and contribute to society. And as I say, I got lucky playing the English schoolboy, Michael Carrington, in Grease 2. And I've never looked back, frankly. I did choose to marry an English woman, but I've sure enjoyed meeting all the American guys and gals this weekend. So I'm just stalling till.
Oh, sure. I mean, do we have any questions from the crowd? If you do, you can line up.
Yeah,
with the
you
mic.
can ask me anything you like. And as I say, once Johnny comes, we'll make it more Empire Records centric.
And I made him run.
Did you?
Hey, yeah, absolutely.
Well, it looks like you beat him handily.
Oh.
Either that
All
or
right.
he doubled back. He's like a joker.
So our second big introduction is for Johnny Whitworth. He's coming on the stage now. 138, yeah. Fashionably late. Yes. Well, before Johnny showed up, I was going to start off with the first question. You got to be James Bond in a video game, and this is the first time we've had a Bond at Sci-Fi Valley Con, which I think is very cool. Talk about playing around in that universe. What were you allowed to do, not allowed to do? Any stories from that?
It was.
I played that game a lot, by the way.
Did you? That particular edition, Nightfire?
Yeah, Nightfire, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Back when I didn't have a lot of money to buy games, I had to make do of it,
Very good, very good. No, it was a total charge to get to voice Bond in a video game. I'd like to have. I did try. I got to meet the casting directors of the James Bond franchise in London, but I met the gal who up until now has always cast Bond, and I came in through the door, and I was too young, and I knew it, and she knew it, but she was taking a look at me because she was a thorough casting director, but ultimately the right man got the job, Mr. Brosnan. Let's face it, he was superb in the role. Nobody sold the stunts better than him. And as far as the recording sessions goes, just you in a booth, fantasizing about being, the man with a license to kill. But no beautiful European beauties to bed, waiting in the limo.
That was after the recording, right? Yeah.
Well, as I said, I'm a married man. I've already announced that to the world.
All right, you have a question there?
You said you talked about the England national team. Two questions. One, since the World Cup that you guys won, you've had another moment that they brought you that much joy. And what is your expectation for them this year in this World Cup?
Oh, good question. I think we'll probably make it to the semifinals, and we've got the makings of a team that could go the distance. But because there's so many teams this year, they've expanded it from 32 to 48. I think it's going to be more of not a lottery, but I think there's going to be some strange results, and certain groups or the way the table's structured, the rank, what do you call it, seeding could see England suddenly. Well, I know we've got to get through Brazil and Argentina, so wish us luck.
Brazil's my team. So.
Very good. They didn't look sharp yesterday. I saw them last night. I was like, you should have taken João Pedro from my team, Chelsea, in London. You got obviously incredible strikers. Amazing. I mean, Vinny Jr. and Rapinha, and then
good midfield too.
who's the Manchester United guy? Cunha?
Yeah.
You got some killer guys up front, but João Pedro is just the classic Brazilian finesse striker.
I'm a Man City's fan myself. So.
You're a Man City fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I taunt my wife with images of Erling Haaland. He looks like the abominable snowman, but he moves like the wind. And
got a hell of a kick.
Yeah, he's great. I hope you all tune in, because really soccer is such a thrilling game. There's not as many goals in it as in an NBA final. Go Knicks. Amazing. Yeah. Really. But at the same time, we digress. We're talking sports now. We're a couple of jocks here.
I can talk sports all day. It's my fault.
Hijack the whole Q&A. But let's talk about Empire Records.
Sorry.
No, not at all. Good chatting with you, brother.
I'll get us back on task. I'm a teacher. You know, AJ, you worked all the time in Empire Records, so we'll forgive you that you were late. You were the workaholic on the movie. 2 parts. One, I don't know, when I watch the movie, it's just so much fun, and I envision, when you guys were making it, what a blast you were having, and if that was true. And then what did you guys take from set? Your purple shirt and your sweater? Did you take things? Did they do that?
Well,
Allow you?
I will, Johnny. I'll turn it over to you, but I only heard just yesterday, Johnny was saying that he was, because they were doing a lot of mixing and matching with the young characters in the show. And it was Johnny and Rory you actually almost ended up playing Lucas, right?
Right. Yeah, what he brought up was that through the process of, through auditioning and whatnot, which wasn't auditioning, but Alan would have basically people coming over to do characters, I guess, to essentially see who would work. And I was in that a lot of the times visiting. And then when I got the offer, it was for one of Lucas or AJ, and I kind of wanted Lucas. But mine and
Maybe you want to play the bad boy, Johnny. Not that you look it.
And what was that? Was that the answer?
No. The other thing was that because AJ, as you're right, was the straight arrow, really, in many ways. He was the guy who was committed to keeping the store.
He was just lost in love, man.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but you asked a specific question, yeah?
If you guys took anything from set.
Well, okay, it takes place in one day, right? And pretty much only one location. It was the store and that, except for the Vegas stuff. So that's 3 months of being in one day in the one wardrobe. You know what I mean? And that sweater was mine, and I couldn't bear to see it after. And so I just left it there. And now they made copies of it or got it from whoever made it, but it was my thing. And that shirt I had found in Liv and I went just kind of doing stuff in North Carolina, and we went into a older family, or a man, a widow was selling shit from the attic, and we were up in their attic in North Carolina and going through boxes, and that's how I found that shirt. And they made they made doubles of that as well. But I wish I had taken so many things. I painted a lot of the paintings that they used. But I mean, I almost hated everything once I needed to leave. So I didn't take. I took Warren's. My name is Warren. I have that. One of those. I actually have that.
Of all people, you stole the shoplifters.
True.
That's perfect. What was Warren Ethan or was Warren with Sexton?
Sexton.
Okay, right.
Right.
No.
I thought his name was Warren.
Okay, I'm confusing you. You saw my entrance, there's no you missed it. It was pretty good. I somehow managed to cover the entire length of the stage. As like just walked on. I don't know. All like
and there goes.
yeah, literally.
Thank
There
you.
was two parts to your question.
It was just that,
We
like,
did have a great time.
Was it a
needless to
fun
say.
experience? Like, it looked like it would
The
have
whole
been a great
thing was
time
fun.
to film.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, when people ask me what's my favorite thing to do, and I don't know about Mac, but there are. There's how I would maybe qualify like my favorite thing I've done kind of thing. Falls into more like, well, the experience of doing it, how much frustration it was to do it, and then what happened after it was done and out of my hands and what I saw. But always the location with the people doing this film, everybody was there to do something really kind of communal. They don't give like rehearsals anymore. Like I said, we shot a movie that was right under 3 months, then 3 weeks of rehearsal prior to that, which we don't get any of that shit anymore.
Daily Pilates classes, do
And
you
we
remember?
did daily Pilates classes, yes. Alan Moyle was into he was into that before I ever knew about it, right? And then everyone's talking Pilates, and I appreciate it for anyone who does it, because it's good for you. I don't do it.
But Johnny, tell them, it's always been a mystery to me, because I know that Tobey Maguire had some kind of association with the origin of the film. You just referenced, when you said yesterday, I heard you say, yeah, Tobey and I were sitting around the table, and they were changing, mixing and matching.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, so Johnny knows the myth of Tobey Maguire's involvement.
Right, yeah, and it has become a myth, I guess, because what I've repeatedly heard, which I'm just not going to regurgitate and say it's wrong, but it was wrong. In that process, like Tobey and I were almost always asked to come, and so we just drive together and do our thing, fantasizing about getting this movie and all that. And he was kind of consistently doing Mark. And once I got the part, I went out to North Carolina. They hadn't cast Mark yet, still like wanting Tobey. I'm behind the scenes trying to push for Tobey, but obviously Ethan's brilliant and then knocked it out of the park or accepted it. I'm not sure how they had it, And I asked, slightly begged, like, yo, I'll put Tobey up and he can stay with me. You just fly him out here, give him a part. And they gave him, I don't know what the name is, but it was one of the record store regulars. And then...
He was a complete unknown at the time, of course, right?
Yeah. So, but the stories that I keep hearing is like, oh, well, there wasn't enough for him, so he left and shit. Like, I'm like, dude, come on. But I won't concede or to tell anyone what really happened.
No, okay. The story I heard was he did get cast, and
He did.
and he rocked up and just was out of his gourd. And the producers went, this guy could be a liability. He could be a bad influence on the whole cast. They could all be like mainlining by the end of the shoot. I'm not. But look, he's saying let's not be spreading dirt about fellow actors, and I'm perpetuating some myth I picked up. I don't know.
Yeah, no. It wasn't that, and I can't concede. I mean, it was an ish, but not bad drugs.
But Johnny, my favorite line was because Alan Moyle, who directed this movie. A wonderful, unique individual. I remember about 3/4 of the way through the shoot, down there in Wilmington, he said, the lunatics have taken over the asylum. And he left the set that morning, and I didn't see him for the rest of the day. And we carried on rolling. I think the DP started calling the shot. Yeah, Walt Lloyd. So I never know quite what happened there either, but Alan he didn't relinquish control, but, it's very political, a film set. There's a chain of command, and normally the director is absolutely calling all the shots. But I don't know what the issue was with New Regency, who were the ultimate financiers of the film. But Alan seemed to sort of almost like dial down his involvement for the last part of the film. Now, I don't know if he was involved in the final cut. And I know that my daughter, who appears in the film briefly, because she was on location, you talk about trying to help get somebody in the movie. My daughter is in that sweet, she's the little ballet dancer with the headphones, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a really cute moment. And Melissa, thank you, Johnny. And she always sends her love to you. And I've lost the thread here. What was I saying about? Obviously. Yeah, the director. Thank you. Back to him, and he goes. Moyle. Melissa went to see a screening, the very first cut of the film, somewhere, some little theater in the Valley in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's the only one I had seen too.
Yeah, and Melissa said, and they were using
a screen test. I meaning the
test screenings, right?
Test screenings.
Yeah, where people fill in cards and record their reactions to the film. And maybe they were using a substitute soundtrack at the time. They hadn't finalized which bands were going to be in the. But Melissa said it wasn't just different songs that ended up in the final edit. And everyone loves the soundtrack, I know that. But she said that the film was better before they started getting an audience reaction, which really can shape the final cut of the film. It's really weird. They go, oh, we loved that character. Oh, we didn't like that character. And suddenly they go back in and recut the movie accordingly, because they obviously want to appeal to the broadest audience they can. And but there are some outtakes that maybe you real fans of the film have seen. Some of that stuff sort of turned up since, stuff that hit the cutting room floor, as they say. I mean, one of the things that I know is that amazing jam at the end of the movie that's so euphoric and so unifying for everybody. Rex Manning is in the crowd because the limo didn't show up to pick him up. So he's still loitering in that little... Yeah, and I was down... And if you remember, Johnny, I think one or two of you, the kids, they forgive Rex and they call him up. And, I don't know if I played air guitar or someone handed me a guitar, but in the end, actually Rex joined in the jam. That went south. But they think maybe that's too Hollywood. And maybe they're right. Maybe they needed to keep it more edgy. And but it would have been nice to have been that scene, that little detail have made it into the film. But it is what it is, and you love it. That's why you're sitting here.
All right, we have another question there from the audience.
I had a question from 007. What was your part in the scene, like when you're driving like different cars from all the movies?
I honestly, all you do is record the voice. I've never even seen the game. I got sent one.
Not like the movie.
I gave
not
it to
the
my brother.
games.
What's that?
Like the movies, not the games.
Oh, yeah. What?
Like the cars.
Oh, well, we all love shooting car scenes, right, Johnny?
yeah, it's like working with dogs. Our kids, it's just the same. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to make a joke. What was your question? What's it like driving cars on movie sets and stuff?
Well, very often you
Are you assuming he's James Bond? And you're still on that tip?
No. I've signed something for you, a James Bond item, didn't I?
Yeah.
Right. The game, as I say, I don't play video games as a rule.
Yeah.
Pac-Man I used to play, but these video games, and they're of course incredibly sophisticated now. The new generation of video games are insane. They're as good as cinema. The motion capture stuff, incredible. But no, I mean, I've got to drive a few cars in my time. One of them was with Charlie Sheen and the Boys Next Door. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, with a couple of Renegades. I can't remember what kind of car. We're driving around L.A. in a primered muscle car. Yeah, and it was. I remember. Yeah, well, yeah, and I remember Johnny was incredible. Charlie was incredibly relaxed about me behind the wheel because they basically turned me loose in a parking lot doing a getaway. And, hood mount on the front of the car to record our reactions. But Charlie was a cool customer about it. I think he didn't mind redlining in life. So even though I was taking that exit far too quickly, they got the reactions they needed. My eyes were certainly on stalks, I know that much.
All right. Well, do we have our next question here?
I'm little. So it seems to be a big trend lately to do sequels of 90s nostalgia stuff. You know, how many years later? I don't want to date myself either. Did it go off? But if they did Empire Records, do you think it would be something that you guys in the cast would join on? It'd be I feel like it'd be another day in the life, but there's no record stores anymore. So
I was going to say, what would be the premise? Can you think of something?
Not me.
A reason? Can you think of a reason?
Reopening the record store for nostalgic reasons,
for vinyl,
because
right?
people want to return back to that.
Yeah.
It's in simpler times.
Well,
Or AJ and Corey tried being married for a little while. AJ on his down and outs.
Don't you dare
just
divorce
his love
them.
for the record stores.
Actually,
He has a little record store somewhere where he's just holding on to this dream.
it's not bad. Look at him. He's off and running. It's a good, I like it.
And then
It writes itself.
Yeah, it does. You're right. And suddenly, there's a good excuse to the other characters to start drifting back into the story. But that's a lovely place to start.
Well, I think it's
On a sofa like this, I can see them now.
I mean, I think it's fascinating. We nowadays, and especially online, they jump so quickly to criticize a film, especially if it doesn't do well box office wise. Now we know that the box office isn't the end for a film, and it certainly wasn't the end for Empire Records, which kind of bombed, as they would say. But yet we're still talking about it 30 years later, and I'm sure it's made its money 10 times over at this point. But from an actor standpoint, were you guys paying attention to that at the time, or had you already moved on to the next thing?
Johnny, have you ever seen a residual for Empire Records? Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I mean, not any big ones, but I mean, that comes in
Do you?
$100.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Rex got stiffed again, I guess.
I don't think consolidate, meaning whoever, meaning multiple things sometimes. What did you ask?
So were you paying attention to the box office?
No.
Was there disappointment, or you'd already moved on into the next thing?
Right. No. Well, it was supposed to be released in 2,000 theaters, I guess, which was a big. That was my second studio movie, and it was a big idea. Like the whole thing was properly doing that, and then, and they actually started the process where commercials were in trailers and in front of other films, and then I guess the heads of Warner Brothers switched, and the guy, whoever the new guy was, didn't want to put it into the old guy's stuff.
The new guard didn't get it.
They kind of didn't publicize it and then put it out.
Yeah.
And that, so that, the new guy was like, Empire made a bunch, and they'd be like, oh, we shouldn't have got rid of that guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I see. It was a regime change thing.
Yeah.
And we got crunched.
We did.
I see. That explains it.
Because it does seem like you have some ownership over it. You were saying how you did some of the paintings. Your sweater was in there. I thought maybe it felt a little personal, to you on that.
I didn't know that about the paintings. That's wonderful detail.
I didn't either.
Amazing.
It's the first I've ever heard it. So, how much did you get to influence that character? Was it just that kind of stuff?
Like I said, there was like a schedule for our rehearsals where it'd be whoever would be whoever in a room, and we'd all play around. And when I wasn't doing that, I had a studio with all these art supplies and canvases and things to be fucking around with that.
Yeah.
And then we were figuring it out. And I don't know, when you came up there into the rehearsal, like Deb, the shaving her head, that was fully Robin, just coming up with I want to shave my head. Can we shave that? And then we worked that out, and then you shave your head, you know? And I kind of do, I mean, I do, this business breaks your heart, and that was an early experience, which would just be my other experiences of disappointment when you start having expectations. And so that was a learning experience for me that I carried through other things where I'm like, oh, really? Okay. You know, where you start, you know, the reality of what we do is how that's being done.
Yeah, I think that's why the film, you know, rings true, is because of the input like that. Because if an art director did that for a studio, it's not going to look like that. Mm-hmm. It's going to look like what they think, you know, young people working in a record star would put up. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think that's part of the lasting effect.
And they did great. I mean,
yeah.
What is it? Patti Smith's around in there, and
yeah.
I mean, and we were talking about the music. Like we shot the end of the movie. We did it to Yellow Ledbetter, or no, to Yellow Ledbetter by Pearl Jam, and so it's a totally different vibe when you have that on the roof. But that's what's playing when we were actually up there. Me and Liv and I, and then when everyone got up there. And we actually had things, I mean, that was, oh God, reminiscing now. We had, I mean, I guess you weren't there because you weren't part of the crew. But like music, like they were asking, what kind of music we like? And every one of us, like I remember sitting around a table writing out lists and stuff. And it was before Nirvana had done, I had a bootleg of like Unplugged. And I was like gunning for like a lot of that, and Yellow Ledbetter was a thing of mine. I don't know if I'm the one who did that, but I know that was a song, you know. But everyone having input like that was, and the energy of everyone just living down the street and all just giving fuck all and being actors and just we're doing our thing, and it was the most brilliant experience because it was so organic, at least for me, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Alan was giving us all the freedom to do that, wasn't he?
A very artistic guy who was like, here, do these things. But meaning it wasn't like, do that. It was like, here's this scenario, this weird shit would happen, and things would end up in the movie or not, you know, like come out of the rehearsals. But like doing the Pilates is weird. Roy didn't keep up with it very long. I think he did one day. I did like 3 or 4, and kind of because when you didn't have to, because we were doing other shit. I don't want to wake up and go do Pilates.
Well, Renee needed to stay limber, so she was there diligently every day.
That's why she's kills it. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's always been. Oh, I mean, from the moment, I've got to meet her. You watch, she's a pro.
So, I mean, having that kind of experience so early in your career, you're thinking, oh, this is how it is. You know, and then it was a harsh realization after of like, no, this isn't how it is at all.
I know you can relate to it too.
Yeah,
it's like what filmmaking is, and as it just keeps unrolling into where we are right now.
No, dude, for me, it was like, here we go again. Because I went to in Los Angeles, there's a neighborhood called Westwood near UCLA, which used to be like the movie capital of Los Angeles because they had all these great theaters and they used to have all the big premieres there. And actually, if you go to Westwood today, it's kind of a sad reflection on the state of the movie exhibition business because a lot of in general, the town's really in free fall. And but I went with my wife and our daughter to see, you know, the first screening on a Friday night in Westwood. The cinema had as many people as in this room. And I was like, oh, shit. This film, I mean, and as you say, Johnny, they pulled all the launch material. Yeah. They pulled the ads. They just didn't plug us. And so it's incredible that you guys found us. And in the case of Grease 2, what happened was we got very lucky. We had a similar fate with Grease 2, opened absolutely stone cold. And in that case, we had a big release, but it just got yanked a week later. Cable absolutely saved us. It just happened that cable had come online, and HBO had come into existence, and they ran Grease 2 continuously that following summer, and people found the film. But in the case of Empire Records, I don't know how they found us. Did they find us from VHS? Is that what it was?
Because it's word of mouth to the friends. Like, have you seen this movie? Seen this movie? Like that kind of thing. Like that's how I got I got introduced to, and like in so many films in that vein that weren't like big movies. Like I like Heathers, which is a badass film. Yeah. You know, and like
Cult classic.
It's so genius, the writing and everything in that. And I was always a new kid in school at different different states. I moved tchotchke kid or whatever they call that. Anyway, parents divorced and anyway, but I always then because I'd get picked on and shit, and I would fantasize about being the dude who shot everybody. I mean, because I was not the football dude, you know.
But all that's changed now, right?
No, yeah, I don't carry a gun anymore.
Okay, all right, yeah. We're all safe. Well, what about
Let's
you,
go
Maxwell?
back to this concept of
Yeah,
the two characters. You know, Liv's character and Johnny's character. You know, finding them. 25 years later, and what they've managed to do with their lives, and this marvelous premise for a film. I hatched one to dust off Rex Manning. You'll like this one. It also featured UCLA, but I'd been cryogenically frozen. Rex didn't want to die, and he wanted to be preserved. He didn't want to get any older, so he actually submitted to being frozen cryogenically and kept in a vault in the science lab at UCLA. And then a bunch of kids find out about. There's always been this myth about, is Rex Manning alive? They say he's on the campus somewhere. Anyway, some enterprising science students find him. They thaw him out. The first reaction of the females is, and I'm getting carried away with the scenario. That laugh told it all. But it ties into what. So Rex emerges, right, like Cro-Magnon man on this campus, not a day older. I don't know how they were going to pull that off, CGI or something, I don't know. But he still thinks it's 1995, and he can say whatever he wants to women and do whatever he wants to women.
Right.
And it's a very different universe. So that was my concept, and I don't know how where you were going to fit in.
Yeah.
That's the fish out of water story we
It's a
all want
cross
to see.
between Austin Powers and Encino Man.
Very good,
Those
sir.
two, yeah.
There you go. Look, this is the guy you need to pitch it to the studio. What they call it, high concept or
Yes,
whatever,
definitely,
right?
definitely. All right, we have another question.
I was just wondering if if you celebrate Rex Manning Day, and or do you reach out to the other cast members, like send memes or anything like that?
I'm really grateful for these autograph conventions because we did actually one where we pulled quite a few of us together. Mm-hmm. I mean, Liv and Renee are very elusive chicks. It's going to be hard to corral those two. But we did do it about a year ago, and I think it was Connecticut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm suddenly remembering about keeping memorabilia from the movie, and I didn't keep my purple shirt, but or maybe I did, and I think I came to my very first convention, and I didn't know how these things worked, and I think I gave it to a dealer, and for almost nothing, and didn't think anything about it. And I just said, I want you to make a charitable contribution to such and such, animal rescue or something. He said, yeah, fine, I'll do that. Took the Rex Manning shirt, so I thought nothing of it. But flash forward to just 2 years ago, Ryan Reynolds, the fabulously successful Canadian actor, he is also a brilliant businessman, as you may know, and has made a lot of money from his brand of gin, aviation gin. So he got me to do a commercial on Rex Manning Day, an infomercial for aviation gin, and they had me wearing a Rex Manning shirt, and I kept that. So I still have that, and it's a perfect reproduction. Kind of like they were reproducing your shirts and sweaters on the original shoot. But it's a very funny spot if you ever want to look it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get me two sort of beautiful James Bond-like women to sell the gin, and wait till you see who they did cast, either side of me in this spot. The joke was on Rex, as usual.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Well, we always like to find out, is there anything you guys have coming up in the pipeline? Anything in the future that we can see? Any new roles?
I just did a day on General Hospital. I don't know what that's going to lead to.
My mom will be seeing that. She watches
Oh,
that every
good.
day. Yes, yeah.
God love Mama.
I have three things that are in
here we
the-
go.
Well, one came out last year, went to Tribeca, and it's rated well, went to other festivals, but did come out, but now it's on Tubi, A-Frame. It's the A-Frame. It's a sci-fi. It's rated well. It's weird. Okay. Then I play a mad scientist, essentially. Well, a quantum physicist who's trying to figure out how to put something from one dimension to another dimension, who figures out that while testing rats, when they come back, they don't have cancer. But he has these cancer rats because he can get them in abundance. So he sends them over as the test things, and they come back and he's like, So then he wants to figure out how to do it. So he starts dealing with some cancer patients to see if he can, cure cancer or how that would work. It's an interesting body horror.
A-Frame on Tubi.
The A-Frame, yeah.
Excellent.
And then there's 6 Days in Evergreen, which is going to come out July 17th or 19th. And I'm not 100% sure how, but I think it's either going to come in theaters for like a week where they kind of have to qualify things, and then, or whatever. I don't know, because it's a whole different program how stuff works when you do like indies and shit like that. Anyway, but this one's really, really good. Like it's a special film, like something that my mom would have loved, and it has nothing to do with all this bullshit that's going on in the world, and it's escapism, and it's a romantic
What's
comedy.
it called again?
6 Days in Evergreen. And I really like it. I don't know how to describe it other than, because that never hit me before, but I remember seeing it, and then I was driving Mulholland on my way home, and that thought crossed my mind, how my mom would have loved that. And I don't mean like, because it's like a chick flick. I meant like, I don't die. I'm the good guy, and it's a good feeling thing. So that one's, I think, really special. And then there is a dark comedy called Sticky that I don't know when it's coming out, but it got bought. It is going to get released. And that one, it's an ensemble as well, but that one's funny in not in a PC way.
In a forensic cop way, or in a skin flick movie way?
I got a cup of coffee over there.
I'm just going to retrieve it. We can keep going all night, folks.
Yes.
The evening's young.
Well, it's been wonderful having you guys, and I think Empire Records is kind of a reminder that sometimes we do things, whether it be a project or anything, and we don't quite know what the response is. We don't quite know where it goes from there. It feels like maybe we,
what you
maybe
don't
it
know is
wasn't
what
as
something
successful.
will do,
Exactly.
and how it will do
Yes.
it. And then when people actually do pay attention, and it's like 30 years later, and we're sitting around and people want to ask questions that I learned from him here, and I'm like, oh yeah, right, or
Yes.
did they really? And then,
So you have no idea what your impact is on a daily basis. So maybe that's a good thing to think about when Rex Manning Day comes around every year.
Yeah.
What I'm doing now, maybe later it's going to mean something, even though it doesn't right now. And it sure means something to us. This panel's meant something to us. So a great intimate panel to close off. I want you to give one more hand to Maxwell Caulfield and to Johnny Whitworth.
Yeah. And if you want to see trailers on my Instagram, it's my name, but somewhere within the first 8, there's a trailer for A-Frame, and there's a trailer for the 6 Days in Evergreen, if anybody wants to do it. Just saying. Yeah.
I'll start plugging my one-man show going to the Edinburgh Festival next. But it's going to be a long time before it gets to this part of the world. But Johnny, I'm really glad you're making indie films. That's where you belong, man. Maybe you should start thinking about directing too.
Thank you, sir. I am thinking.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that Rex Manning Encino Man Austin Powers project. Yeah. Yeah. Get this man a paycheck. All right, one more big hand for both of them. Yep. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, you know, the spotlight's for you guys. I want the shot. Yes, yes. Yep. Yeah, you're the last ones. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today.